Picture this. You and a bunch of similarly small people are walking in a single file line. As you look up, you see a sign with two words imprinted on the front, Computer Lab. Once you go inside, you take a seat near the back and log into the computer in front of you. Once the slow computer loads, you look over your shoulder and quickly type in COOMATHGAMES.com into Internet Explorer. Then simply click on a little game called Duck Life. This start screen, as plain as it might seem, is one of the most nostalgic images that comes to my mind when I think of games in my early childhood. Over time, I played all the Duck Life games, but even though it's the least visually and mechanically compelling of the bunch, the original game is what really stuck with me. So, in a moment of boredom, along with a strong compulsion to write a video essay about one of the only Flash games that I distinctly remember, I opened the game back up. Starting off, the game says that you have copious amounts of money. This indicates that the game is indeed fictional. However, it's all gone within 2 seconds, and all you're left with is one singular duck. And of course, you, as any good wealthy person would do, immediately decides to subject it to hours of monotonous tasks in order to increase your wealth. This is Duck Life. The game is split into two distinct portions, the first being training. There are 3 different skills that you can improve in the first game: running, which you can level by jumping over logs, swimming, where you can swim over and under objects that get in your way, and flying. You don't really do anything in the flying minigame. I don't know what they were thinking with that one. Though, the same thing goes for the next portion of the game, the races. In each race, you start the race, and your duck either wins the race or loses depending on how much time you've spent increasing your stats. After a while, you will inevitably max out your duck and be able to win the race against the champion, leading you to be able to save your precious farm. Overall, it may seem like the game sucks, and to be fair, it does do that. Half of the game doesn't even have gameplay, and the other 2 parts combined have a whopping total of 3 keyboard inputs. Along with this, the story is a literal PowerPoint slideshow, but when I'm playing, I don't really care if the game is good. If I want to play a good game, I have Hollow Knight downloaded on my computer. I can do that. However, even excluding the nostalgia, there are still reasons to play Duck Life for me, the most obvious of which being the feeling you get when you play the game. The trainings taken by themselves are monotonous and boring. However, the increase you see in your level after you finish them feels good. As human beings, our brains love to see when little numbers go up after we do something. It's easy satisfaction, something this game has in abundance. As for the races, if you don't overlevel your duck so that you win for sure, there's a sense of anticipation to them that feels rewarding when you come out on top, even though you, as a player, did almost nothing to achieve this outcome. In a way, it's just like watching a superhero movie. When you watch a generic superhero movie, you're initially confronted with a weak protagonist that has no way of achieving their goal in their current state. They eventually train to become better to be able to take on this challenge, making you feel a sort of second-hand sense of improvement. And then they achieve their goal, leading to a different second-hand sense of achievement. This, stripped down to its very bones and forced into the body of a video game, is what Duck Life really is. It may not sound like much, but it really is nice. The game's simplicity builds these feelings along with providing a simple distraction that takes little to no energy. Most similar games in these times are made either to addict you into a dopamine-filled loop, like an idle clicker, or to squeeze all the money it can out of you through microtransactions, like a modern mobile game. Duck Life, whether it be on purpose or not, is short and to the point. An easy win that at the same time doesn't feel condescending. This may be a product of the time in which it was produced, but either way, it was produced in the way it is. In the real world, however, satisfaction and achievement are pretty hard to come by, and when they do, a lot of the time they end up feeling a bit empty, especially doing the things that I'm expected to do to live. A lot of the time, it's something I don't care about that much. Thinking about it, is the work that I have to do really so unsatisfying that I can use Duck Life to replace it? What does that even say about me? What does it say about the structures around me that I do this?
You just don't want to work hard.
That's not true. If anything, I overwork myself with everything that I have to do, plus everything else I have on the side. And even in games, I love difficult experiences, maybe just not all the time.
You just wanted to be rewarded for nothing.
I may want to feel rewarded, but not for doing nothing. That's a hollow reward. The problem is that the incentives for reward in this place are cruel and just as hollow.
You should just feel grateful for the world you have.
No, I can't do that. There's a price we pay for being born into these conditions that we have. The price of alienation. I don't know about you, but I don't do most of the work that I have to do because I really love to do it, at least for school. Endless assignments, quizzes, and exams aren't exactly what I consider a fun time, even if I do genuinely find some of the content within them interesting. At the very core of it, I'm doing it for some future version of myself, a self that will hopefully reap the benefits of all the work and studying that I do right now. I'm doing it so I can survive in the future. Though I know there's no end to this cycle of self exploitation, always being forced to work for my future self, I never get the chance to do it for myself. My work, except what I do here, will never be mine, because I have to do it. I have to do it to survive. Not in the sense that I don't want to do anything at all. I definitely do, and think everyone does. But in the sense that I have no choice but to work for someone else and push myself and what I want for myself further and further down the line as I go along. Even if I made something great like this, it would never be able to be all that it could be. It would have to be kept behind a gate to influence others in my position to survive like me. With all this on one's mind, work can be tiring, going towards what seems like a meaningless end. Still, even when you win, it's not for you. You either have to keep going and sustain your position, or if you have your own source of work, say a YouTube channel, you have to keep growing and growing. Not by making the best content that you could make, but by making the best content for an arbitrary algorithm. In both cases, you become separated in a way from what you do, due to an incentive that is not your own, a need for growth. This need for growth is not inherent to our society or humanity, it's actually rather damaging to it, and there are many ways to oppose it. However, one way to separate yourself from it completely is a game. Because what other reason do you play a game than for you? In a different, better world, I don't know what an easy, simple game would have to offer me. Though, in this one, it's an easy, simple win in a place where I might just be too tired or don't have enough time on my hands for a little bit more. Thanks for watching, guys. I honestly haven't had the chance to play that many games recently, so I've only really been able to make videos thinking about my situation rather than analyzing the things I play. I hope that's okay and you liked what I had to say, but also feel free to comment if you feel a similar or different way than me, or if you have suggestions for what you think I should make in the future. Though, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel, and I'll see you next video. Peace.